Never been there for real.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you're not gonna think,
and
why are these mountains any bigger?
so we've kind of said our favorite parts to the film. There's a lot more that we could talk about,
yeah,
but I do
definitely.
want to get into the hypothetical. In our world, two parts to this question. Do you think something like this could happen in our world? If so, how? What company?
I feel like it's somewhat happening right now.
Yeah, I would kind of agree.
Somewhat.
YouTube and Twitch, we're not owned by
I'm not talking
any
about
sense.
that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like Big Brother
Yeah.
and The Bachelor.
Okay. Yeah, I can
it's
see that.
reality
Television, but
It's
not to
based
the
on a
extreme
character.
of the Truman Show.
No.
In a,
I have to agree with that.
but it's hard to like. It's such a huge investment. You bought this child from
but I see
age
that
0.
going. But that's what I'm saying. I can see that maybe going to the future. Like at some point,
Yeah.
the Truman Show could actually happen.
You think there's some kind of like in our
Especially like Big
weird
Brother.
world we live today? Is there a scenario where somebody like a company in our it doesn't have to be U.S. but let's just say for instance a U.S. company would buy a human being?
I don't know if our country would, but I think a country would.
Yeah, maybe some lawless country out there would buy.
You gotta remember, the Squid Games was a fake TV show,
Yeah,
and
true.
then now they made an actual reality. You don't die,
Yeah,
and you
obviously.
don't get killed, but
And
it's still based on the Squid Games.
Just think of how much like your life would be just molded into this environment, and I think that's the way it probably would end up too. Like you have to like go out on this
Break
island
ground.
somewhere that's just kind of lawless, and you can kind of do your own thing. Honestly, I'm gonna say it right now. Amazon. If I was a company that was willing to do it, I think Amazon. I don't know. I just have this. I have this sneaky suspicion they're a huge company. I was thinking Apple just because they were even higher as far as like uh, market capitalization, but Amazon has that ambition to. Okay, hear me out. They bought Twitch. They have their own Prime Video. They sell a lot of products.
Yeah,
That has all the makings of the Truman Show build-up. You know what I'm saying? Like if I were to put a company that would do something like the Truman Show, I would have to say Amazon. It has it all. We want to market all our shit that we're selling. We have a platform to do it on. And if you want to tune in after the fact, we got videos on demand.
And we have our own premiere videos.
Yeah.
So they have,
I mean,
yeah.
hypothetical. That's what I was thinking when we were first talking about this.
No, I was thinking like Big Brother and.
What? No. I'm gonna concede. Would it ever happen? I'm gonna say no. Especially not here in the United States. We have.
I could see it not happening here.
It's not gonna happen in the United States.
I could see it somewhere else.
We've honestly we've got to the point where we've abolished slavery. If you're gonna own somebody, that's to the point of slavery. Even if you are kind of like you could say, oh yeah, I'm paying him in a way maybe, but it's still like you're submissive to this company without even knowing it. You're kind of manipulated into this world from birth.
But isn't that what the government's doing right now?
Maybe.
Making us work so we have to pay them.
Maybe.
And
but
controlling us in a way.
But to get onto the Truman Show, it's like you're molding this kid into this marketable piece for all your products. I don't know.
But even then,
I think
Truman doesn't really ever market anything.
Yeah, he doesn't, but people are still tuning in. Like, that's how people are tuning in, because he is this bigger-than-life show. Well, and they have all the little drama pieces in there to kind of facilitate this. Well, much like Survivor and all the Big Brother and all the reality shows where they have to facilitate drama. That's what they're doing in the Truman Show. They're getting all this drama going.
But I'm saying, like, in Survivor, they don't show abs. Whereas, like, in Truman Show, they're like...
Not in the show, but...
Look at my thing.
Here's a word after our sponsor. That's kind of like what they're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're just now meeting the threshold. We're about 3 minutes over the hour, but we can go ahead and do our rating. You want to go first this time, since I went first?
I don't care. I like the story a little bit better, just because, like you said, it's a different beast.
Than Liar Liar?
Yeah, even Liar Liar, because I feel like this could more happen than Liar Liar, because Liar Liar is based on a wish.
Yep.
I mean, I could see Liar Liar being truthful, like more reality if the guy himself figured a way himself.
Yeah.
But like, since it's a wish, it's like this is more out of reality than. Whereas Truman Show is like, this could possibly actually happen. I'm not saying it could happen, but I'm saying
The
it's more
possibilities
realistic.
are there. It's realistic. There's not as much like fantasy in it, I guess you could say.
So I get
Like the whole wish and not being able to lie, that's definitely fantasy. You're never going to be able to not lie.
That's what I'm saying.
But the Truman Show, that's all based around reality. Like the budget itself the Truman Show, the movie budget aside, just think of how much of the budget to actually do that in real life. That would just be astronomical in itself.
Oh yeah, because you gotta feed everybody.
Yeah, you got all these people on staff. You got this huge production every single day, every waking hour for the next. How old is Truman? 25, 30 years old?
Right.
I don't know how they portray him in the film, but
yeah, let's say 30.
You've invested 25 years. Let's say 30 years of this investment that you put into Truman, and he's now getting away from you. You do not want to lose that investment.
I mean, I feel like 30 years is still a good chunk of change, though.
Yeah.
And it's not like they could have just went and bought another baby and started all over.
Yeah, they could have.
Unless there was people picking outside, like,
I just,
let them go.
Yeah, I suppose you could get a lot of that. But I just don't think, like, the realistic aspect of it. Now, could it happen? Yes. It's more likely to happen and be realistic. But I don't know. Who's going to watch, like, a 6-month-old reality television show? He's got to grow up and into the like. Are they marketing him the whole entire time he's growing up? I would imagine so. You want to get some kind of like, this is our up and coming star.
Even in the movie, you feel like they had to market him somewhat because they show him being born.
Yeah.
So like how they portray.
And you want to bank.
So how you portray him, like you said, they portray him as a baby till at least let's say 18 or whatever.
Yeah, and hypothetically, child labor laws do not exist in this realm of anything. It's
kind of mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling.
But it's still more realistic.
And I think you would want to market him in a way because you're trying to bankroll your whole production. You got so much you're spending on this. But if you're a company like Amazon, you have multiple avenues for income. You have let's say Twitch. You got your main bread and butter, selling a bunch of stuff through the internet. You got
I'm sure like
your
in
video
the Truman
subscriptions.
Show, they made it so like they had products that they would want to sell on the show already set up before they started actually shooting the Truman Show.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah, a lot of ins, a lot of outs.
Yeah.
Please, if you're out there, facilitate more conversation. We want to talk more about this. I was really this is right here is where I was wanting to be at and talking about like how this could be portrayed in real life and all aspects of it. Really, I find it fun. 24/7, thousands of hidden cameras, being facilitated by this.
You'd also think there would have to be like a privacy law thing too.
Yeah. And another thing that kind of gets overlooked, and I would say it's kind of a plot hole. Christoph, the main villain, I would say, who's getting
the director.
Yep, the director. I would think they would want to portray Truman a little younger because for 25 or 30 years, who was the director during that time before? Did Christoph fill in for somebody later on?
Christoph still looks pretty old though.
Yeah, he is definitely older. When did he start? Did he start in his 20s and now he's in his 50s? You know what I mean? Like that's a long time. That's a long career investment just on one dude for your show.
But even then, you could have someone that was a director and he could have been like a, what do they call it, an apprentice type thing.
Yeah.
And then he could have took over when that guy retired or whatever.
Sure. And I, how do you hire for somebody like that? That's a
hey, you want to come in and
you want to do a 30-year investment on this Truman Show? All right, give me the plot, man. Give me what's going on here. I'll consider it.
If there's enough money on the table.
Yeah, if there's enough money out there, why not? Okay, let's get back to the rating. Where do you fall in line with this one?
I'm gonna rate it a little higher than Liar. Like I said, The Mask, Liar, more fantasy. I feel like Liar is more realistic than The Mask, but yeah, it's still not as realistic as the Truman Show. So I'll go like 4.7.
4.7. That's pretty good. I'm in the same boat. Just like we're basing it off in our enjoyability, my personal enjoyment. I really enjoyed this show, this movie, I should say. I didn't watch this film until probably like 10 years ago. I didn't watch it when it first came out.
I feel like I did watch it as a kid, but as a kid you don't really process as good as you did it. Like,
yeah, when you're an adult.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I don't know what possessed me to even watch this film. I want to say it was that Blockbuster era where I'm like, I'll give this. I didn't even know what the movie was about when I rented it.
I think it was just a thing that came on TV and it was like, well, I got nothing else to watch.
Yeah, sure.
And so then I was just watching Truman Show. It's just like, huh?
I mean, I guess I kind of knew about it growing up, but I never just watched the film. And then when I watched it, I was like, I finally get it. I mean, I wish I would have watched this when it came out. I mean,
even
like,
then,
just like you said, you're kind of younger. You don't really process it the same way.
You're still not gonna really understand it.
I'm gonna do 4.4, just to kind of stick it in the middle, just like you did. I think it's better than Liar Liar as well. I enjoyed it better. The comedy really wasn't there, but I just enjoyed the plot. I really enjoyed going through that.
His character was more realistic.
Yeah, more realistic. Definitely more toned down. Like there was parts
that he was pretty crazy. Though.
Yeah, I agree. But
it was still
no Ace Ventura mask type of character.
No, still not that crazy. But I did like that one part when he goes in with Marlon, and he's in like asking questions, and then he just glimpses in the back of his eye. He sees like these people in the background, like in like headphones and speaker and that with a fake wall there. And he's like, "Oh, I see that," and then they're like, "Oh no, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't see that.
You didn't see anything.
You didn't see anything."
I feel like they could have portrayed something. If they want to go unrealistic with it, do like a Men in Black little nebulizer thing or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like you got to you'd almost have to like, what's the? I know it's not the right word, but I like using it. What do they call it? You remember Total Recall?
Yeah.
What do they call that?
I don't remember.
God, it's gonna bug the hell out of me.
Brainwashed.
Brainwash. Nebulizer? No.
I don't know, I'm blanking.
I'm blanking too.
Just look up Total Recall refresh memory or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna look for the word and then it's gonna come out. Lobotomy. Is that a word?
Lobotomy sounds like something you would do to a dead body or something.
Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. Let's go on to I think it's gonna be my favorite part. We're gonna go to Rotten Tomatoes and compare it. It's probably you could probably easily compare it to 1 out of 10. We're 1 out of 5, so you kind of got to double the score that.
I still feel like it's in a lot of the movies we picked. I felt like we were going to be either pretty on, which we were on some of them.
Yeah, we were pretty close.
And then all of a sudden, like some of the ones we thought would do better were in the worst category.
Yeah, we kind of flip flopped on a couple of them. Like Ace Ventura, I thought that was going to be a lot higher. I guess a lot of other people didn't like that.
Yeah.
Let's go The Mask first.
You go in order.
Yeah, I'm just going to go in order. So, there's a lot of Mask movies. The Mask, 1994.
But we went to OG.
Yep, this is the OG. 80% by the tomato meter. Audience gave it a lower score at 68%. So, 80% would be 4 out of 5. So, we went a little higher. I would say a lot higher than the tomato meter.
Really. I mean, it's still like
audience
80.
Score, though, was way lower than ours. I guess a lot of people didn't like The Mask. To each their own. I guess I could kind of see why people overall wouldn't like it, but that's not us.
Yeah, I remember back then they didn't like that more craziness.
Yeah, and it probably pushed boundaries too. Not every a lot of people have different likes. I like maybe some people like the love story. Maybe some people they just didn't like the story. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say. They weren't into comic books. They don't like comic books. They're nerdy. I don't like it. I don't want to be associated with it. Terrible movie. I don't know. People have different opinions. Who knows?
Well, yeah, I remember people back then were more like our parents. And yeah, I remember what they grew up was like more serious drama. There was no craziness like this at that time.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Let's go Liar Liar.
I still feel like we were kind of did on with the critics, ish.
68. That's no. Our 80%. That would be the equivalent of a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, we did go a little higher.
We went way higher than that.
But it's still, it's pretty close.
The audience was 68, so that would have been closer to like a 3.5.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. I'm curious about this one. Liar, liar. A
83%,
little higher. They're both
75.
higher. Audience liked it, and the tomato meter was higher.
But you get, again,
83%.
This is at a time where people were like more realistic, and Liar Liar is more realistic versus
they like to maybe relate a little more to the movie instead of it being total fiction.
Yeah, where, I mean, there is a wish, but I mean, other than that, everything else could be possible.
Yeah, you could kind of put yourself in the shoes a little better throughout the film. Yeah, I'd agree. We scored closer. We definitely scored closer on that than we did The Mask. See, 4.3, that's equal to 86%. It was 83. Yours was closer to a 90. So we're a little higher than the tomato score.
And the audience still.
Yeah, a little higher. Good though. I mean, I think that's a good position. I mean, it's all our opinion anyway. So we'll go to the Truman Show. Ooh, wow. People love this film. Oh my god, I wouldn't expected that. I really enjoyed watching the film. So did everybody else apparently. 95% on the tomato meter.
Again, this is more realistic though.
Yeah, it definitely is. As far as...
And people then are more of the conspiracy theory because they had, JFK assassination. They had the walking on the moon.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
So you can kind of play into people that like conspiracy theories.
Conspiracies more.
Yeah.
Which is basically what this is.
This is what it is, yeah.
It's a
audience score of
89.
89%.
Which is closer to 90.
So you were closer than I was. Actually, we're about the same. 4.7, so you're definitely a little higher. I'm a little lower than that score. So our score together was probably like right on the money as far as like what the tomato meter was. Great films, man. Great films. Should we give a little preview of what we're going to do next week or leave it as a cliffhanger?
What do you think?
I think we should leave it as a cliffhanger.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care.
Well, for those...
tune in next week.
Yeah, tune in next week. The two of you that tuned in this week, please, I beg of you, tune in next week. We got a great show next week. We're going to try and incorporate maybe some dancing, maybe some entertainment.
Putting too much up.
Maybe a little bit more. Okay, maybe I am. But
I don't know. Maybe they'll figure it out. I kind of doubt it, but...
All right, let's get out of here.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.